Right, now I'm going to be making the Campbell family recipe for shortbread. Very, very simple. Everything that you need needs to be just got together first. I'm using 2 of these baking tins, which are 7 inches or 18 centimeters in diameter. You need to either grease them first, or most new tins, most contemporary tins are non-stick anyway, so you don't need to worry about that. All I need then is the ingredients, which are very simple. 12 ounces of flour. I'm using 8 ounces plus 4 ounces of oatmeal, but you don't need to put the oatmeal in. So 12 ounces of flour go in. That is 4.5 ounces of sugar, they go in, and 7.5 ounces of butter, which looks like that, and that can go in as well. Some people like to cut it up beforehand and put in pieces, but it's quite easy to simply chop it up in the flour and sort of turn it around in the flour and the sugar and get it down into something like sort of inch or half-inch cubes, something of that sort of size. Turn it in the flour to kind of seal the butter around, stop it from sticking it back up together again. Meanwhile, I have got the oven preheating to 150 degrees centigrade. A low-ish oven. The shortbread cooks for a long time at a relatively low temperature, low oven temperature. Right, now we've got the butter cut up and incorporated into the flour so that you've got small pieces there, and now the fun starts. You just plunge in with your hands and kind of scrunch the butter up, mixing it in with the flour, rubbing the two together like that. Probably not a good idea to do this when you're wearing rings and jewellery. Who knows what germs they catch, but come on, this is just a family recipe. So you work that in, kind of smoothing the butter down and gradually mixing it with the flour and rubbing it between your fingers. All sorts of things you can do, but the idea is you just incorporate the flour and the butter and the sugar. There now, after perhaps 3 or 4 minutes, that's what we've got. That kind of consistency. It's like very coarse breadcrumbs. Now we get the dishes that you're using, and we spread that into the dishes, trying to get roughly the same amount into each. That's about it. Finished with that. All those bits can go in. And now we have to shape it. And that's done with the back of a tough spoon, just pushing everything down into what will become a solid, smooth consistency. Right, so that's got it smoothed down and polished and levelled off with the back of the spoon. I like to go around the edge just to tidy that up, and essentially that's all there is to it. If you want to be very fussy and fancy, you can go around and you can make a decorative edge to the pieces like that. And at this stage I like to cut them across and mark the pieces that we get out of this, which I think is 8 pieces. And there we have it. A little bit of sugar just sprinkled onto the top doesn't do any harm. Comme ça. And then just shake that around and even it out. Now the easy bit. Preheated oven, 150 degrees centigrade. In they go. Set the timer for about 1 hour 20 minutes. Right, that's how they are after 1 hour and 10 minutes, and that's probably good enough. I'm aiming for a dark straw colour. While they're still very hot, you need to cut them into pieces. They're still quite soft at this stage, and the cuts that you made before they went in the oven have all closed up, so they need redoing like so. Then once that's done, they need to cool on the wire tray here for 10 to 15 minutes, and that will crisp them up, and then they can be turned out until they're quite